All right, hey guys. Well, the day finally came. We've got the EyeXo hooked up. We've been waiting a long time for this. I know we've had quite a few videos of how to install it and some of the run through on some of the stuff. So I'm not going to go over stuff that they've already covered and covered well. I want to hit a few shots just to kind of show you what it looks like in the Succeed software, and then I wanted to show a few things in the View software. But here I'm on the driving range. I've gotten an 8-iron. I've got it taped up so that I can get all the data. Of course, I'm pulling the ball a little bit today, but let's see. As you can see, I've got I've got the a little fast, huh? Let's go back here. We have the ball data, which again, with the forward view now, you're getting a lot better view. You're actually seeing the ball, the spin. You're seeing how the EyeXo picks up your backspin. I hit an 8-iron, so 4,800 is probably about right. I'll tell you what, I'll hit a couple of wedges to show you. Why don't I do that and show you how it picks up higher spin shots. And also I only have one camera. That was a little fast, but I have one camera set up right now. I'll work on getting my other cameras hooked up, but in fact I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn the swing video off, and we don't need that. Let me go and hit some short shots with wedge and give you an idea. This is a 52. Let me see, where's my 60? Hold on, let me grab my 60 degree. Alright, so we'll hit a few shots, and I'm going to talk about the wedges in a minute, but I wanted to show you first. Oh, hold up. Alright, my fault. Okay. So there's a backspin of about 10,000, and you see how that ball stopped on a dime. And then let's go, we can look at the shot. So you can see how I got up under that ball nice and good. It was a good hitting shot. Let's see, let's do super slow-mo. And then you can see the here where the high spin is picked up. So again, picking up hitting high spin shots. There were a lot of guys worried about, could a overhead system do that? I was 9,700. I'm not as I don't swing as hard as a lot of the guys, but for me, 9,000 to 10,000 is a pretty good number, and the system really has no problem picking these up. 8,800, so things. Again, you get that great video, and you can look at that later on. Let me hit one more. I'm hitting Pro V's and Nike, but I'm not sure which ones were which. This is a Titleist Pro V. Try to really get one here. Of course I chunk it. I can't end on that note, fellas. Let me hit one more. This is a Pro V. I didn't have my set. I didn't let the ball set. Again, I've got the sound turned off on my unit because I don't like to hear the beeping sound. But you do have to wait and for the ball to register. My ball's registered. There, that got over 10. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you guys was the putting. Somebody had mentioned that the overhead view was not available on the putting, but I guess it's been installed because my unit came and it was fine. So on putting, I've got a 12-foot putt here, and I want to just kind of show you how that goes. Now there's your overhead. Now I would like for that to be, and one of the things I'm going to suggest to the Unicore guys is to give us a longer view. I mean, I'd like to see that ball go all the way out in my putter head. So I think it would give you a better. It's hard for me to really see if that ball, if I'm going in and out or out and in. So one suggestion I have is to give us a longer view than what we're getting here. So I'll suggest that to the guys, and they're usually pretty good about coming through for us on this kind of stuff. So anyway, everything else on the Succeed, the gameplay, the practice facilities, all that stuff is pretty much the same as it is with the QED. Of course, the big thing with the EyeXo is the view software, and bear with me. I'm gonna have to switch screens here to give you that. Hold on 1 minute. Alright, so hopefully you got that. We're back to a live view. Okay, so real quickly I want to touch on some things that I think you may not have seen or really explored. And again, I've had about 1 day with the system, so by no means do I know everything about the system right now. So but I've set up a session with an 8-iron, which I have taped my 8-iron club. Taping is easy. You get a ton of tape. It's no big deal. It looks like the tape will stay on for a very long time. I plan on taping all of my clubs. I'm so anxious to get in here and hit that I just have done one club. So, but I want to show you the kind of analysis that you can do, regardless of your swing. So I'm going to hit four 8-irons. I'll try to hit decent shots. So here we go. Okay. That felt pretty good to me. That was a little chunky. That was real chunky. So this will be good for you to see the way that you can analyze some of your shots. And I'm going to actually hit a couple more so I can get a good average, but that was not the best. So out of these 4 shots, let me hit this 5th one. So far I think the first one was by far my best shot. That was decent. So here's the beauty of the system, or at least what I think. Okay, so you come up here and go over to shot. So I had the 5 shots I hit. Now I can look at all 5 of the shots, and I can click on each one, and I can see the path of that shot. There's the one I chunked. Okay, I think this was probably my first one, was the best shot, and followed by probably the last, or I was actually my first and then the last. But anyway, you can see them all together, or you can look at them individually. Now, same thing for the side. If you want to see that, as I click on it, the shot gets drawn so you can see it. Same thing when you go into grouping. Okay, here are the 5 shots, but as I click on it, you'll see where the shot is. All right. So, I've got a little group here that I would probably, you got to throw out this chunk shot. Yeah, but you can see my cluster here. Now here's where it really gets good. So you can actually go in and look at the club. All right, let's look. Here's the shot I hit pretty well. I can compare my attack angle. Look at my chunk shot. I actually hit in front of the ball and caught the ball as my club head was coming up. So you can see on my better shots, I'm coming in and really not a steep angle, but a pro would probably need to tell me, do I need to increase that angle a little bit? But anyway, that's just the one metric, attack angle. Look over here. You can look at where I'm hitting the ball in the club face. And again, when I highlight the shot over here, you'll see the mark highlighted so that you can actually see. I love the fact that you can see, okay, here's the shot highlighted, but you see and grayed out all your other shots, so you can see as a total where I'm hitting the club, or the ball on the club. Now that's all on the illustration. Do the exact same thing on photos. I can go back and look at every shot. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then you get the actual video of that shot. So I mean, here's where I'm hitting the ball, I think, very nicely. Okay, and here's where I'm chunking it. You can actually see where I hit the ground before. You can blow that up. You can actually see I hit, and then I kind of flare off. Look at a better shot. So again, a lot of data. It's probably dangerous to be in my hand, but you got all the data in the world you want. Same thing with the swing. I don't have my cameras hooked up, but I can come back and I can do a replay. I got to work on the lighting and all that, but you guys get the idea. You can come in and do each shot, pull the replay, and so forth. So then here are those 5 shots with all the data. You can plug into that and go as deep as you want to go. If I had a lot of different sessions, I could do the same on a session level, and then here's all your numbers. Again, you can go back to each shot, and everything will populate. So, to me, it's just amazing that I can go in and say, okay, here's a shot that I clunked or I chunked. I can go in and I can say, well, what was happening here? Obviously a positive attack angle of 3.2 on an iron. I mean, that's no good. I could see where I hit it real high up on the club face. Again, I hit the ground first and came into the ball doing that. Obviously I didn't get any spin on the ball, compared to, one of my better shots, backspin 58 on my chunk shot. Look, 1700. I mean, because obviously I was hitting up on the ball. So again, ugly or pretty, whatever, you're going to get the real, data. Now, there are going to be guys that want to pick this apart and say, okay, is this, on this shot, is the attack angle really a minus 0.8, or is it a -2? I just don't, at my level, I don't think that's important. Plus the fact that, I'd like it to be as accurate as it can be, and I think it is. But I love the fact that I got video, I can see what I'm doing, and not only do I get an illustration, but I can actually see the ball hit. I can see the ball hit on each one of these shots. Look how I hit out on the toe on that one. Right there. So there's no denying that. I mean, that's as real as it gets. So anyway, I don't want to do too much in one video, but overall impression with the system is I think it's fantastic. The major points to me are, number one, I think forward-facing sensor technology is the way to go. You're not going to hit it with a ball. I mean, you saw me hitting 60-degree wedges, and I didn't even come close to it. But with here's what I like about the forward-facing sensor. The only no reads I ever got with the QED were because I was waggling my club, or I was standing over the ball when I was putting. I was kind of slumped over and my head would get in the way. With a forward-facing sensor, all that goes away. You are not going to have any more no reads because you were waggling the club or your head got in the way. So I love that. The non-marking balls, I love that. Now I saved this for last. The only negative, and let me see if I can show this somehow. Let me think. The only negative I can, let's see, how do I show this? The only negative I can tell you is that I have a set of Cleveland wedges, and they're matte finish, and I could not get shots to read with those wedges. I talked to Austin at Unicore Support. He is aware of the problem. The developers are aware of the problem. They are basically the club face, the shine or glare interferes with the camera. and you just get some weird data. But that seriously is the minute I went to my other 60-degree wedge, which is a tieless, which is a normal chrome finished. The minute I went to that, everything went away. I mean, so I went from, you know, I mean, it literally, you know, I don't want to give the impression that the camera is finicky, because it's not. I mean, all my other irons, it read every time without fail. Zero misreads. But the Cleveland wedges with the matte finish, it just doesn't read them. So, you know, if you want to investigate, if you use Cleveland wedges, you need to investigate that further. And you know, I think they're working on a solution to that. I have no idea when that'll come, or I wish I could show you. I tell you what I'll do real quick. If I can get this to come up on the screen, I'll do this so maybe the Unicore guys can see it as well. I'm going to have to switch screens again. Hold on. I'm going to bring up, I tell you what, I'm going to bring up, I'll bring up a couple of things to also show you real quick. If I can get my OBS software to agree with me. I'm going to bring up the calibration software real quick. Let's see, that is, and I think you'll be able to see what I'm talking about on these wedges. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Let's get this. Alright, just bear with me, guys. Okay, I believe I got it coming up now. Alright guys, I'm hoping you're seeing the calibration software. I am going to show you the way that this, and maybe you'll be able to appreciate why. Let me put a ball in here just to give you a point of reference. Okay. Here's a ball. So this is what the camera's seeing. Now, this is my normal chrome wedge, and behind it, so this is my Cleveland wedge. You see that? And I'm trying to give you as good a view as I can. That's at the same angle right there. But these Cleveland wedges, it's just not reading it. Whereas on my other wedge, it reads it with no problem. So, you know, maybe that'll, and I've got both of these, well, no, I don't. I had the Cleveland wedge, you can't tell, but I have it taped. Let me show you. Here's one of my wedges taped, and here's the Cleveland wedge taped. So as you can see, no real comparison here. Here is my 8-iron, and you can see where it's taped. And again, here's that Cleveland wedge. Now, if you use the wedge, you know, if you really de-lofted it, I guess you could use it. But when this is in its normal position right here, so you can see how that matte finish is messing with the camera. So anyway, you know, guys, at the end of the day, that was the only issue I had with the EyeXo. And I mean, I've probably hit a couple, 200-300 shots. I've done, again, I've hit really high spin shots. It captured that perfectly. I hit a few drives. I haven't taped my driver yet, so I can't really talk to you about smash factors and things like that, but I'll do that next. Um, but I've been, blown away. I love it so far. I think it's a great monitor. Uh, you know, and I've said this before, but I think people are always going to be on the fence of the QED or the EyeXo, and I'm going to probably stay with my original statement. The QED, always has been, and I think will continue to be a great value. I mean, for what you pay, you're getting a fantastic product and deal if you can afford it, and you don't mind spending a little bit extra. I view the EyeXo as just a more luxurious model. It's got a little more bells and whistles. We didn't really talk about attack angle and all that, but if you go back and look at that shot, those shot data I was telling you, you do pick up some more data points like that. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I know I kind of rambled a bit, but kind of late at night, and so if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Alrighty.